Coming up this week, Comic-Con just finished over the weekend, and we have a slew of updates for you guys. Up next on Coming Attractions. Welcome to Coming Attractions, the Morgue's weekly news show dissecting the latest and greatest in the world of entertainment news. And I am your host, Arturo Padilla, and with me always is Mr. Nick Valdez. Tex, how are you today, buddy?
Oh, howdy, everybody. Howdy, Arturo. We've got a lot to talk about because of Comic Con. So let's just kind of get right into it. The first is so, okay, this is a bit of a spoiler for the Fantastic Four First Steps. Please check out our review either on YouTube or the podcast feed or wherever else you get your media. So there's a post-credit scene that teases Doctor Doom. This is I won't get into the details of how, so maybe they'll kind of still skirt spoilers that way, right?
Yeah.
But so the big thing I wanted to mention out of this was that during I forget who he was talking to, so unfortunately, sorry about that. I'm not crediting my sources right now, but he was speaking to some outlet during Comic-Con, director Matt Shackman, who did reveal that it was not only previously revealed that the Russo brothers directed this post-credit scene, just like they directed the one for Thunderbolts, and secondly, that it was actually Robert Downey Jr. in the person that we see. That we see a version of Doom. So without giving too much away, we just kind of see his cloak and a mask, and apparently that was Robert Downey Jr. I don't know if I'm outright believe that, but I kind of do at the same time, right? Because if
Yeah.
right,
I mean,
what
I
are you
kind of do.
thinking?
I kind of do. I read an interview with Vanessa Kirby today in Variety about her time on set, and she was saying how Robert Downey Jr. legit has been on set the entire time of as they're shooting Doom, and they shot those post-credit scenes in Thunderbolts and in Fantastic Four on the set of Doom. And it
Well,
was
there we
Robert
go.
Downey Jr. on the set. Vanessa Kirby in that interview gushes about Robert Downey Jr. and how much he has been a patriarch to all of them there, pretty much like just taking care of them, making sure everyone is good to go and on point. And honestly, with the amount of money Marvel threw at him, you should be there full time. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that he is getting a full-time check, right?
Yeah, legit.
He's not WWE superstar Roman Reigns, right? Where you can pay him millions of dollars to be an attraction, right? So no, you got to be there full time. But okay, so now I believe it. And it's funny from that interview too. She was also talking about Sue Storm's future and the fact that she wants to play Malice someday, which is the darker version of Sue Storm that kind of goes wild and takes on a whole new persona. So I would like to see that someday. But this is to say that one of our biggest gripes from the post credits is something we actually said in an episode of Coming Attractions. You might have heard us talking about it when we're like, yo, if you're gonna put him in the post credit scene, you kind of have to do it, right? Like you can't half-ass it. And if he's there, why did they half-ass it? Right? This is just this is taking more time to complain about it, but it's also
It's true though, but it is a big gripe though, right? Because as we said in that episode, that we were like, if you are going to give us a post-credit scene with Doom, right, you need to show Robert Downey Jr.'s face, not just a mask or an iron glove or a cloak. You need to see his face. And it's kind of like a shame because the pop would have been super made, especially when in that particular scene there's a confrontation. So it would have been dope, if he turns, you see his face. You would have been like, whoa, I think we would have been like, okay, Marvel, I'm ready.
Because it's
I needed to see his little
was,
facial hair, his little goatee on the side,
Yes, that's what I'm thinking, right? It's like if you would have done maybe the Thanos turn. Remember we saw Thanos for the first time, and we only saw a little bit of his face.
Yes.
We needed something like that. You could have hit it, obscured it even more so we don't see if he's scarred or anything like that, right? So I don't know, man.
But
I don't
you
know.
know what? But this leads
I
to a
really,
lot of questions, right? Because there's been a lot of stuff online ever since Fantastic Four came out about the future of
right.
MCU and what's at stake here. So pretty much what they're saying these days is that Pedro Pascal might be the face of Marvel going forward
Yeah,
after Doomsday.
he was getting thrown around as like
Hmm.
a leader for the Avengers, which I do not agree with at the moment, right? Like I get Pedro Pascal, but it's like, yo, he's the newbie. Imagine
Yeah,
a newbie coming in and taking control. Like it's like,
nah,
no, but you have Cap there already. Like
yeah.
you have Sam Wilson already as
You
like
even
the
have Bucky,
leader.
right?
Yes, like, and you've got Bucky leading the other team, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, like you have leaders already. So you can't have a complete newbie who's not even in the same universe, like leading
Yes.
your team just because he's
Yes.
smart, right? And it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, he'll serve his purpose in like with the way Fantastic Four always serves purposes in Avengers stories, right?
Of
Where it's
course.
like, yo, like Reed helps out or makes things worse, but like he's there, right? He's the smart guy. He's your, because you don't have Tony Stark anymore. He's your guy who thinks his stuff, right?
Yeah,
And so,
he's the
like,
genius now, you know? A resident
yeah,
genius, which is in this Marvel space, technically, like, they always look at that person as, like, a leader, you know, whether it was
right.
T'Challa in Wakanda or Robert Downey of Jr.'s Tony Stark, right? These 2 characters in particular, super smart, right? Like, have tons of resources. They kind of naturally become leaders. So I can see why they would say that about Reed, but as Tex mentioned, the new kid on the block, bro. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
can't
like,
have
you
your
are new and you're not even in the same universe.
yeah,
So,
you can't have your new guy coming in and
yeah,
taking over.
like,
There's just
and
something like, we love Pedro Pascal.
yeah,
Everyone loves him, and I get why you want him as the face of your future, right? Because it's like, yo, you lock him in, and we're paying, like, it's like, yeah, we're paying you the Robert Downey Jr. thing, right? Where it's
mhm,
like, yo, we're paying you to be here, so you be here. And I but yeah, just narratively, it just doesn't make sense, right? Because we've
no, it
only seen him
doesn't.
in one movie,
Yeah,
and then we're gonna see him in Doomsday and Secret Wars. Like, even if the Fantastic Four themselves are like central parts of the story, it's still going to be odd if suddenly like Reed is leading the
yeah,
team too, because
yeah.
he's got his own problems,
Yeah,
right?
he
He's
has his
got
own
his
problems.
family to worry
He has
about.
his own problems. He has his own team, which is his family. Plus, there are
Yeah,
literally 2 different Avengers incarnations in the universe right now, you know?
yeah,
You have
it's
Captains, and then you have the Thunderbolts version of the new Avengers. What happens to get these people together, we'll find out next year, right?
right.
But all that being said, though, I also kept hearing that Robert Downey Jr. might wanna stick around to play Doom afterwards, after all that stuff,
I
and
mean,
it's like, "Hey,
yeah,
let's just get to next year first, and then we can figure all that out, right?"
let's yeah, like let's get to Doomsday, because for as many like reports we hear about potential future stuff, there's also stuff like Rebecca Romaine going on like having an interview where she's saying, oh, she doesn't know whether or not her part in it is done because the script isn't done yet. So it's like, okay, and this thing's coming out next year. All right, let's figure stuff out before you start thinking about
Um,
moving forward,
that's a
right?
little
Yeah,
odd.
it's a concerning, right?
That is a big concern, especially if you look at how James Gunn and DC Studios work. He specifically
Right.
said that
Yes.
we are not greenlighting anything until the script is completely done, and he implemented that based on his experience working with the Marvel machine. That these
Yeah.
people obviously are like greenlighting things without fully having the script cranked out
Yeah, and
completely.
look what happened. Look what
Oh,
happened. Like, this is why we're at where we're at now,
yeah.
So let's move on to
Mhm.
another cinematic universe kind of developing with a probably a better plan in place, right?
Yeah.
So over the Comic-Con weekend, one of the coolest things, like speaking of post-credit scenes and
Yes.
cinematic universes and all sorts of stuff, during the panel for Predator Badlands, Dan Trachtenberg, who also directed Killer of Killers on Hulu, check out a review of that. Check out the movie, first of all. It's a big pay for it,
So
right?
good.
Like,
Seen it like 4 times
total pay
already.
for it. Yeah,
So
yeah.
good. Yeah.
They announced that there was going to be like an additional extra ending, like
Mhm.
an additional footage. And when it updated, it was like it's basically like a minute longer. Like the final shot of the movie, just like in the first time around, we saw what's her name, Amber Midthunder's character from
Yeah.
Prey,
Mhm.
being kept frozen, but this time it keeps scrolling, and you see Danny Glover's character from Predator
Yes!
2. and Arnold Schwarzenegger's Dutch. Like, so this not only like this was one of our big questions during Killer of Killers, right?
Mhm.
Where it's like, yo, if they're capturing the survivors like years after the fact, right? Like
Yep.
for what? And what does this mean for the life? And now we got our answer. Like, no, these characters are also in the mix.
Yes.
Trachtenberg during the panel also mentioned that he had been talking with Schwarzenegger
Mhm.
as
Yep.
to like how to continue Dutch's story. And so like this is the best of both worlds, man. Like,
Yeah. I love
we're
this
getting
text.
yes, right?
I love this. I saw somebody online that was just kind of poo-pooing all over it, saying that it's a terrible retcon. But I'm like, no,
It's
you,
not
sir,
a
have no
yeah,
idea what you're talking about. Because if
yeah,
you look at the timeline, and how the universe is working, this falls right in line with how everything works, right? Because,
okay.
if you guys haven't seen Killer of Killers, it takes place around 3 different timelines, right? It takes
Yes,
place during the
yes.
Viking era, in the,
It's like feudal
1200s or something.
Japan,
Yeah,
World
and
War
feudal
II.
Japan in
Yeah,
the 1600s, and then a World War II in the 1940s. So then having Dutch from the 80s and then Danny Glover from the 90s, it makes perfect sense to have him there, because if this is what they do with everyone who beats one of them, why not have them there, right? Because this
yeah,
is who
and
we
it's
know who actually beat them first. This is Dutch is the first guy we know that beat a predator, right? So he needs to
yes,
be on that ship, including the lieutenant from part 2, Danny Glover.
but
He needs to be there as well. So I really, really like that. People who are like just talking smack about it just don't understand the universe then. Period. But I think this was a very smart thing to do, especially to bring in all the classics, right? Bring in all the
yeah,
characters that actually
and it
made sense and worked, and bring them into this universe. I cannot wait to see what
yeah,
happens next.
and the fact that it's animated means that they can do whatever they want, right?
Yes.
Trachtenberg
Mhm.
can do whatever he wants with these characters, right? He can probably bring back Schwarzenegger, maybe not Danny Glover, maybe, but maybe also maybe, right? Like because it's
What else is
voice
he doing,
acting,
bro?
right?
That's it.
Yeah, so like he can sit at home and record. That's how good these things are now. Is
Hell
that
yeah.
you can record in somebody's home and like do it that way. So like yo, like they can do this. They can bring like they can give us the ultimate dream crossover that we'd never be able to get in live action.
Oh
And
my
like
god,
yo,
imagine
like
Tex if they have Amber Midthunder's character, right? You know, the Native
yeah,
American character. We have Dutch, we have the lieutenant, we have the Viking Ursa, right? Like all
yes,
together in this one location where they keep all the champions, I guess, hibernating until
yeah,
whatever time.
yeah,
And then
like it's clear that they're freezing them for something. Like in
yes,
Killer of Killers,
exactly.
it was like, yo, to challenge like the head predator guy, but it's also like,
Whose
well,
ship
why
got
are they free?
stolen by Torres, by the way,
Yeah,
which I
so it's
cannot
like,
wait to
well,
see how they continue that story too.
yeah, like it's and that's the thing too. It's like I personally don't understand how someone would complain because it's like, yo, you
Mhm.
see Killer of Killers, right? And you see Prey, and you're like, yo, and you see the trailer for Badlands, and it's like, yo, this guy clearly knows what he's doing, right?
Yes,
Like
he clearly has a love for this universe, and he understands these characters
yes,
and the universe and what's supposed to happen. And the fact that he included a Wayland Yutani droid in Badlands goes to show exactly how this man is thinking. He
yeah.
understands what's going on here.
Yo,
You know, he
like if
knows.
y'all don't, yeah, if y'all don't think we're eventually gonna get like an ultimate Alien versus Predator like animated movie with like all these
Oh my
characters
god.
from like both you
I
can bring back
wish.
like they can bring back like a Ripley clone. Like they could do this. Like you could do a like just bring her back from like a different timeline or something. Like they can do it's animation, right? So
Listen, Ripley's been cloned a whole bunch of times too. Just look at Alien
yeah,
Resurrection, you know. So
yeah,
somewhere out there, somebody has her DNA, right? So, oh
yeah, just do another Ripley clone so you can bring her into this too. And it's like, yo, like
my god,
just
Tex, imagine
do
how
like
awesome that
this is
would
what I'm
be, dude.
saying, right? It's like,
So
yo,
good.
if y'all don't think this is building towards a dream Alien versus Predator animated movie, I don't know what to tell you, and I'm sorry that you're not living that life. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
like
I
we
feel
brought
bad for
up
you guys. You definitely need to go out there. Go listen. If you haven't watched Prey, that's the
yeah,
first thing you need to do.
yo, go watch Prey. Yeah, watch Prey. That's
Go watch
yes.
Prey. And go check out our review of Prey right after that, right? And then go check out Killer of Killers and check out our review of Killer of Killers, right? And you'll understand what is happening now with this universe. That now they have let Dan Trachtenberg take full control and full reins
Yeah,
of
there's a
the whole
plan.
timeline. Of the whole
Yes.
timeline. Like, dude, this is your universe. You do what you need to do. And then the
Yeah,
fact
they
that he has Fede Alvarez on board to do something in the future, oh,
yo,
come on.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if y'all don't think we're eventually getting that AVP, like legit AVP that we've always wanted, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. So moving on with the coming attractions, we were talking James Gunn just a second ago. So
Mhm.
we got the first trailer for Peacemaker season 2. During Comic-Con, James Gunn noted a bunch of stuff about like Peacemaker, about the universe and stuff. A lot of it does sound kind of like nonsense right now, because it's like, yo, you just got started, so it's like this is a lot, right? Like, what was it? He was saying there was like 100 universes in the DC
I wish he
Studios
didn't
U.
say that. I'm so glad you brought that up, Tex,
Yeah.
because I totally wish he didn't say that, because that's like because that's just inviting issues and
Right.
questions that like you're not ready to answer yet. You know, we just finished Superman, right? And according
Right.
to James Gunn, this second season of Peacemaker happens 1 month after the events of Superman. So, you know, who knows what the state of the world is going to be now. And apparently, according to the synopsis of everything, Peacemaker jumps into an alternate universe where he's a good guy now.
Yeah,
So
which we see in the trailer. Like, this
yeah,
other universe is like way better than his own, and that's kind of going to be the whole plot of this, because he Peacemaker season 1 is still technically canon, as
yes,
James Gunn said, within, but that was within, as we saw in season 1, that was with Zack Snyder Justice League.
yeah,
And
within
it's
the
like,
else
yo,
worlds, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So, and one of like, and apparently he's got pocket universes available to him, and one of them leads to Superman world, which is probably the one we see in the trailer where he's a good guy also. Because in Superman, he's in there for a brief cameo
yeah, a talk
in like a
show.
late night interview, right?
Yeah,
So it's like, oh yeah, so clearly he's got some pull in that universe. So like, I think we've been on record multiple times about this, Arturo, where like, yo, I wasn't really feeling Peacemaker season 1, and the
yeah.
idea of season 2 was like, oh, this is a
I
lot,
mean,
right?
like season one was fun. It's a fun kind of standalone gimmick,
But
honestly.
it but yeah, but it was a lot. Remember,
Oh yeah,
it was like
dude.
20,000, like it was some of James Gunn's worst habits, of like needle
The needle
drops.
drops everywhere, the
Yeah,
excessive cursing and the too much
yeah,
dialogue
yes.
and the clever quips everywhere,
It's spread across like 8 episodes, right? And
Yes,
like,
yes,
and just as you were about to mention, I assume, where like Superman didn't have that, right? Like, it had like one or two needle drops, but
yes,
it was
yes,
fairly reserved compared to what we've seen from Gunn, right?
yes. So I am hoping that he did change his writing habit or his style, I should say, for Superman. But this is HBO, right? This is
Right.
the TV show. This is like what he did with Creature Commandos. He did whatever he wanted with Creature Commandos. He
Yeah.
apparently wrote Peacemaker, Superman, and Creature Commandos all pretty much at the same time within the same year.
That's the
That
one
being said,
thing.
though, I do hope Tex, if he did, because he said in an interview that he wrote Peacemaker after he finished Superman. So I do hope that he did bring along a little bit of that restraint with him,
Yeah.
to Peacemaker.
Yeah, and since it's the first direct follow-up to Superman, we kind of have to see it, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Yeah.
and he has also mentioned that like characters from Superman will be in it. So it's like, okay, like we're gonna have to see it. We're
I
gonna
wouldn't
have
be
to see how
surprised if we
this.
see Guy Gardner in there, the Justice Gang, or even like
Oh yeah, they were in that
Lord,
first
right?
trailer. Remember,
Yeah.
they were in
Yes,
that
that's right.
first, like, because he was auditioning for the
He was
team.
auditioning
So
for the Justice Gang, yeah.
yeah, so I mean, I guess we'll see how that works out. More context for HBO Max, I guess, right? And it's the same with the trailer for It. Welcome to Derry. We got a new trailer which is showing the actual story this time around,
Yeah.
and it is more It. And
Yeah.
I guess it's what I can
That's
say
it, right?
immediately,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's
Like,
just more of it.
it's more dairy stuff. It has the same vibe as the movies. We're gonna see it just to see
We
it.
are going to see it.
Um,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not really hyped about it. I wasn't really curious about the history of Derry or Pennywise. I think watching
Yeah.
the two like epic parts of it 1 and 2, I
they
think
felt
that
like
kind of
enough, right? Like,
yeah, they felt very
and
complete and very whole in terms of the story of Pennywise. I don't need to see this. One thing I do have to say that was cool was just seeing a bust to Shawshank Penitentiary because Stephen King likes to put things
yeah,
together. So I
yeah,
was like, oh,
the
that's
Stephen
cool.
King universe. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I'm like,
that's
are we gonna see
fun. Like,
Andy Dufresne here? I
yeah, I
wish.
was gonna
Give us
say,
some Andy Dufresne.
are we gonna see a young Andy Dufresne like
Oh
crawling
man,
out
but
from
yeah, Tex.
the sewage pipe?
This trailer showed us more of the human aspect of the story, and what the
Yeah,
characters are dealing with.
but it's
Again,
the
like
same story,
yeah,
right?
like
And
this kind of feels like the beginning of It Chapter 2, where we go back in the history of Derry, remember? And
yeah,
they show a little bit of how that all started, and again,
and chapter two
ah,
was the wonky one. Like, if we
yeah,
remember, like, it was like, yo, it is kind of like a like this is really, really great movie, and it's like a really almost perfect in terms of
yeah,
like, yo,
Chapter
what
One is awesome. Yes,
yeah, like what it delivers, right? It's that good. And so seeing this, it's like, yeah, that's cool, but you know, the kids are gonna make or break it. Like, you gotta have like good kid actors, and they seem fine for the
yeah.
trailer, but it's like, yo, we're gonna have like 8 episodes probably of this stuff. And it's like,
Hey, at
yo,
least it's in October, which is spooky season, so at least we have
yeah, like
something
we're gonna be
themed,
looking.
So
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We're gonna be looking for that stuff to watch anyway, right? So I guess, yeah, we'll report it back to you. Check out,
we'll
maybe if
watch and report back
the
to you
board.
guys.
Yes, on a future episode of the Morgue's review show where we will talk about that. Speaking of, let's talk about the movies. The final two on this list are two big sequels. The first is
Yes.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2. We have the trailer for
Yes.
this one and the first like actual trailer. And what are you thinking, Arturo?
I don't know why it's coming out in December. Like, even non-horror fans want to watch scary stuff in October because that's just the season for it. So this
Yeah,
would have been great in October because part one came out, I think, at the beginning of October or the end of September, something
yeah,
like that. I'm in it. I mean, I really like the way the animatronics look. Like
yo, they look
the
great.
whole getup looks great, even from part one. Like these things look really great.
Yeah,
And it's
and
all animatronic, all practical too.
yeah, and you see them in motion and you see the designs, and you're like, oh, okay, this is why it's been such a big deal with kids, right? This is
Yeah.
why it's such a big video game franchise, because you look at these designs, you look at these mascots, and you're like, oh, yeah, those are pretty cool. And then, like, when they start to attack and like open their mouths and stuff, it's like, oh, yeah, you can see the appeal from that, right? Where
Yeah.
it's like, oh, yeah, that's all cool. But with the first one, that's where we kind of hit our limit, right? With like, that first movie just had a lot of issues in terms of like explaining the lore of these things, and also like it was too complicated, and like it cut away from like the actual like action a lot of the time. Matthew Lillard was fine in it, but also it's like you're gonna have like, if you have him in there, he's gonna be good. So it's like, okay, like that was your gimme, right? Like, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, that was your one. You were gonna have that either way. But like with the sequel, cool. I'm like, yeah, it's just you're giving us more of the stuff, but it's also like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of the games or anything, so I don't know. Like,
Yeah,
I
my
do
kids
know,
like the
like,
games. But
yeah,
like, as a movie critic, as we are
yes,
here,
as
right?
someone looking at it through the lens of being a movie, right? And
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
yeah,
As you mentioned, the first one had a lot of issues. The characters themselves, we don't even know if they're baby faces or heels or they befriended a little girl, but they also killed and all that stuff. So it was very confusing as to where they stand. And that kind of follows here in part two, because they're kind of going after that same little girl again. Like it seems like she's been communicating with them somehow through that little radio or something. It still seems a little jumbled up and confuddled there. So I'm not really looking forward to watching this movie, but that's why I wish it was in October. Just stuff it along with the horror stuff because it might hit
yeah,
better. Like in December
yes,
is where you get all the Oscar contenders and like the major
yeah.
Hollywood movies. You know what I mean?
And in December we have another contender that actually, let's just talk about it now, right? So
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in
It's a great segue,
December,
actually. Yeah.
yeah, in December there's going to be one movie dominating the holiday season and one movie dominating the month when it comes out. It comes out like December 19th, but
Mhm.
Avatar Fire and Ash. So this trailer premiered ahead of the Fantastic Four. If you saw it in theaters, like
Mhm.
Arturo and I got to see this in theaters for the first time and it was kind of a surprise. Like I didn't know there would be an Avatar trailer,
Yeah,
and like
because, like, you got the
the
animations of the movie starting, right? But then it goes to a
yeah,
trailer, and you get this. You're like,
yes,
"Oh, shit, okay. We have
yeah, like
Avatar."
it was super cool because it was
Totally.
like, oh, I was at Regal, and it's like, okay, Regal starting now or whatever, and
Yeah,
then
you did
this
the whole
trailer
roller
popped
coaster
up.
thing. Woo!
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And then trailer, you're like, "Oh, wait a minute. What's this?" You know?
Yeah, and it's super cool, but like when I saw it in theaters, I didn't really fully absorb it. I think I was just so just surprised and so kind of wrapped up in Avatar visually that like seeing it on screen, I was like, oh wow. Like I was kind of like looking at it instead of like
Yeah.
trying to actually watch
Yeah,
it.
because
Does
you were
that
like,
make
"What is
sense?
going on?" Like, "Oh my god, I
Yeah.
didn't expect this to happen." I honestly didn't think we'd get a first look right now, because,
Yeah.
James Cameron takes so much time with his work that I wasn't expecting anything till the fall, honestly, but this was the perfect time to put it out there. Why not? When you have Marvel's first big successful movie,
Yo,
right? And you
yeah,
stick it right in front of there, so good job on Disney doing that.
yeah,
And
but
honestly, Tex,
now, phew, yeah, like
I'm stoked, bro. I'm hyped, man. Like
yeah,
I told you off
1,000%.
air, Way of Water completely blew me out of the water, pun intended, and surprised the hell out of me. I did not expect James Cameron to come back with such a great story for that because Avatar, as everyone knows, has such a basic story to it that he was focusing more on the looks of everything and the technology of everything. And the story kind of just became simple because he wanted to focus on everything else.
Yeah,
But with Way of Water, things got a heck of a lot more complicated. The characters got more complex. The family got bigger. They met the water navies, and they,
yeah, and like
befriended
yeah,
them.
Sam Worthington finally became like an action star again. Remember, like it's so funny,
Remember
right?
the
That like
time where he was
yeah,
like the hottest
yes,
thing, dude,
he was he
from
was he was a
which
Pedro Pascal type,
from Clash
right?
of the Titans to
Yes, yes,
Terminator to
yes.
Avatar. But like his success never really kind of hit like that. I never thought he was a great action star to begin with. I don't really know what they saw in him.
No,
But
he was just the guy of the moment,
yeah,
right?
but
He
he
and
he
then
does good work here in Avatar, in Way of Water,
yeah,
and as well in Fire and Ash. This mocap
he,
really, he really
dude,
gets to kind of act and be himself here, and you can like be like, oh crap, Sam Worthington really knows what
yeah,
he's doing,
like yeah, in Way of Water, his like that part where they're teasing that oh I'm gonna hunt you down forever and I'm gonna kill you one day, right? And you're like, okay, this is setting up for part two or for part three,
Mhm.
and then Sam Worthington just Jake Sully's like, yo, let's get it done, and then they start fighting, and then they
Yeah,
then it's the whole building falling underwater and stuff like that. They're fighting around and swimming in it. It's just like yo, it's such
epic.
a good yeah, that's the only way to describe part two. And so like looking at part three, like actually watching the trailer this time that it's online and like seeing the story, it's like, oh, okay, you got a fire tribe of Navi, you got a new like head villain who's probably like not really a villain, she's probably protecting your tribe or whatever.
Yeah,
And it's
just
just like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah. She was probably lied to, by
yeah,
what's his
by
face,
what's
the
his
guy
name? Yeah, yeah,
from
who's
the
also
blind
like
guy from
yeah,
that movie.
he's also gone full traitor from
Yeah,
from his humanity too, because he's like joined their side, right? And
yeah.
it's like, yo, like, and his whole thing before was like, yo, you think you're like them now in part one, right? He's like, oh, you've become like them, and now he's like fully in it. And
Mhm.
dude, I'm trusting in James Cameron. Avatar is really the only franchise at this point where like I forgive it for being 3 hours long, right? Where it's like, yo, it's 3 hours, but I'm gonna go sit there. I'm gonna pay the premium prices for
Oh,
theater
you
tickets,
you
right? Like,
have to though. Like you
yeah,
have to see it in
yeah.
a premium format, dude. Like IMAX 3D that. No, like ASAP. Like
There's
that's
no
the
other
only way.
like
Dude,
there's no other
I go back
franchise
on
that fits
record.
it.
Have I said it? Like the first time I truly felt that the 3D technology in cinemas was worth it was when I saw Avatar 1 in IMAX. And it
Yo,
was like, whoa,
and in
you
fact,
know?
that was the one that got other movies thinking that they could do the same thing. Remember,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Avatar, like Cameron launched that whole 3D movie era for a little bit until people realized it just wasn't paying off anymore. But
No, because
then
like he
Avatar,
legit was shooting in 3D as well. So this is why it works so
yes.
well.
So
So
and it's just like, yo, and even if you don't see it in 3D, it's like it still looks
I
great.
think it's
And
also one of those movies too that you can, if you see it on like FX or something, like you can just put it on like at any point and just kind of continue watching it. Honestly, it's
yeah,
so in depth and long that you can just jump in. The movie
and
does
then
a good job of kind of showing you what the conflict is all throughout the movie, so you know exactly what's going on in terms of conflict. So you can just jump right in and not even have to watch all 3 hours, dude. You can jump in after they escape their homeland and meet the water people. You
right,
could even jump in
right.
when you meet the whale. Like it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah, and it's just like, and with Fire and Ash, it's like we're gonna get like all kinds of cool action again, and hopefully, like it's a good story. It already
Yeah.
looks interesting, right? Like, and that's the thing, right? As you mentioned, that Cameron was so focused on delivering the experience the first time that he didn't have really a lot of story set in place. But now
Yes.
it's like, now I think he knows by this point we're already like bought the gimmick, if that makes sense, right? It's like, yo,
Mhm.
we're already fully aware of what you bring to the table visually, right? So like, even you can stun us visually, but it's also like you have to bring the rest of the substance, right? So it's like, oh, okay, like I think he knows at this point
Yeah.
that he needs the story to back it up. How long has it been since Way of Water? It's only been like 2 years or
A couple
something,
of
right?
years, yeah,
Like,
it's been a couple of years. Like, I think Way of Water came out just before Dune 2 came out, I think, right?
yeah, so
Yeah,
like
that year
it
before.
really hasn't been that long. So like, yo, do and he wants to do 5 of these. I remember making fun of that, but now I'm also like, okay, I'd watch five.
Listen, we've gotten way, way, way much worse, folks. So
Yeah,
5 of these movies, it definitely would not hurt, especially if you continue the way you're going, from Way of Water. Um, Listen, just watch the trailer, folks. Like you'll see
yeah.
how epic it looks, and you're like, "Holy crap! I can't wait to see the actual story trailer." When it comes out, that second trailer
Yeah,
is gonna be
this
awesome.
this was just like this was the cool stuff to look at
Yes,
trailer,
a
right?
little, a
It's like,
little taste. He gave you just a little taste.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is everything was fine until the Fire Nation attack trailer. This is
Yes.
this is the Avatar: The Last Airbender. This is the Fire book Fire, and last one was water. First one was air. So after this, we'll probably get the Earth one. We'll get
And
a
then after
dirty,
that, we're gonna get Captain Planet, right? So,
yeah.
by your powers combined, I am Captain
Dude,
Planet.
small aside, they're making like a live action show of that for
I
Netflix. Like,
know. I heard
I,
that, and I'm like,
you
what?
I don't know. Like, I'm,
It's a it's weird because it's a funny gimmick if you think about
yeah,
it, right? You break
because
it
we're like,
down.
yeah, and we're getting all those shows back too. Like, He-Man's getting like his own movie next
Yeah.
year. Captain Planet's getting a
Voltron.
show. Yeah,
Yeah, Voltron on
Voltron's getting a
Amazon.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, with Henry Cavill, I
Henry.
think it's yeah,
I was gonna
Henry
say,
Cavill's in
speaking of
Voltron, yeah.
Supermans,
Speaking of
yeah,
Superman, yeah.
we've got a
Oh,
lot
man.
to look forward
Oh
to,
my
but
god, folks.
yeah.
Yes, we have a lot to look forward to, and the only way to find out what to look forward to is to stay tuned to Coming Attractions, the Morgue's weekly entertainment news show, where we dissect the latest and greatest in the world of entertainment, folks. And don't forget to check out the Morgue's weekly review show, which you can find on YouTube as well. Go like, subscribe, and share. Hit that bell to see when that video drops. Our
we
latest one is Fantastic Four. Go check that one out. Go check out the Superman one as well. If you guys don't want to be spoiled, watch the movie, then come back to YouTube and check out our review. I guarantee you guys will enjoy it. And don't forget, it is a scary world out there, but we are here to walk you through it.